I have a special someone today that I'd like you to meet. Rajan. He's 26. He just got his first real job at a mid-sized company in Bangalore. His offer letter says he has a 15 LPA package. He told his parents. Now his mother cried a little. His father said, "Bahut sahi hai." And Rajan did the math in his head. 1.25 lakh rupees a month. He started planning a nice flat, a decent bike, maybe a small SIP. Life was just beginning for him. And then the first salary hit his account. 96,000 rupees. Not 1.25 lakh, because nobody told him about the distance between CTC and take home, and nobody had warned him that this was just the beginning of a relationship with the Indian government that would follow him quietly and relentlessly for the rest of his working life. Hello folks, I'm Shashank and you're tuned into Finshots TV. We're part of 01 Media. Today, we're going to follow Rajan through his entire life as an honest, salaried, tax-paying Indian and count every single time the government takes a cut. Not just income tax, every tax. Because the salary slip is just one that you can see. The rest are buried in your petrol, your phone bill, your restaurant order, your mutual fund statement, and eventually the house that you spent a decade saving up for. By the end of this video, you will have a number, and that number, folks, is going to bother you. Okay, let's start with that salary slip. Rajan earns 15 LPA. Under the new tax regime, his income tax works out to roughly 1 lakh. On top of that, a 4% health and education cess, which adds another 4,200. Then his state government deducts professional tax, which in Karnataka is around 2,400. So before Rajan has spent a single rupee, the government has taken approximately 1.12 lakh off the top. His effective take home is around 1.16 a month. Now, there's also Rajan's TDS, which is a cut before he even touches the money. And then there is PF. Every month, 12% of Rajan's basic salary is deducted as his contribution to Employees Provident Fund. His employer matches that with another 12%. But when Rajan changes jobs 2 years later and tries to withdraw the money, he enters what can only be described as a bureaucratic maze. Because in FY 2022 and 23, EPFO received 73 lakh final settlement claims and nearly 1 in 3 were rejected for silly and stupid reasons. So you can't even withdraw your own money. This is the defining feature of the salaried class in India, folks. Total tax visibility, zero tax flexibility. Every rupee is accounted for, by the way. Now, Rajan starts living, and this is where the invisible taxes begin. Let's say he orders food on Zomato, there's a 5% GST on the order. Then a packaging charge, then a delivery fee, then 18% GST on the delivery fee. And if it rains, there's a rain fee and another 18% GST on the rain fee. Now, that's something you have to bear. He realizes that he's being looted, so he decides to go to a restaurant with his friend. But 5% of GST at a regular place, 18% if it has air conditioning. Now, he gets frustrated, so he pays his phone bill. 18% GST on telecom, his internet connection 18% GST, his Netflix, his Hotstar, his Spotify 18% on every OTT subscription, his gym membership again 18% GST. He buys a new pair of shoes about 1,000, 12% GST, a laptop 18% GST, a washing machine 18% GST, a premium motorcycle helmet 18% GST, because apparently the government taxes the thing keeping your head safe at the same rate as a business class ticket. Rajan doesn't see any of this as paying tax. It's just the price of things, he assumes. But every time he pays 100 rupees at a restaurant with AC, 15 rupees of that is GST. Every time he pays 500 for his phone bill, 76 is tax. It's invisible, it's constant, and it adds up. Now let's say Rajan buys a laptop on no-cost EMI because he's been told it costs him nothing. Now what he doesn't check is the processing fee, typically 199 to 299 rupees with 18% GST on top of that as well. If it's a regular EMI with interest, the interest component also attracts 18% GST. So on a 50,000 purchase of 12-month EMI at 15% interest, he roughly pays 4,400 in interest and 792 in GST on that interest rate alone. Interest on a regular bank loan is exempt from GST. Interest on a credit card EMI is not. The distinction is buried in a GST notification most people will never read. Now let's talk about petrol. Rajan buys roughly 40 liters of petrol a month for his bike. At roughly 100 rupees a liter in Bangalore, that's around 4,000 a month. Of that 4,000, approximately 2,200 is tax. Central excise duty, state VAT, road cess. Now more than half of every liter of petrol Rajan buys is tax. The cost of the fuel is a minority of what he pays at the pump. Petrol is not under GST, folks. Every other good and service in India has at least the theoretical possibility of input tax credit, of rationalization, of a GST council review. So every time Rajan is filling his tank, he is also filling the government pockets with 2,200 rupees every month that he will never see again. Now, until 2025, even health and term insurance premiums were hit with 18% GST. Now, individual policies are at 0% GST. So, Rajan was smart and he got his health and term insurance sorted from a trusted advisor at Ditto. Now, you can make the same smart choice as he did. So, all you have to do is head to the link in the description and book your free call with Ditto. It's free, it's spam free, and yes, we're backed by Zerodha. Moving on. A couple of years pass. Rajan starts investing. He opens a demat account, puts some money in mutual funds, start buying stocks. He's building wealth. Good job, Rajan. And then the taxes arrive at his doorstep. Every time Rajan buys or sells a stock, he pays STT or Securities Transaction Tax. It's small, fraction of a percentage, but it applies to every single transaction whether he makes money or not. He could lose money on a trade and still pay STT. If he holds a stock for less than a year and sells at a profit, he pays short-term capital gain tax at 20%. If he holds for more than a year, LTCG, that is long-term capital gain tax, kicks in at 12.5% on gains above 1.25 lakh rupees. His mutual fund dividends are taxed at his income slab rate, with TDS deducted before the money reaches him. He puts money in a fixed deposit at the bank. The interest is taxed as regular income, and if it crosses 40k in a year, TDS is deducted at source, again, before he sees it. Look, the money Rajan is investing is money he already paid income tax on. He earned 15 lakhs. The government took its cut. What remained was his. He then invested that already taxed money. It grew, and the government took another cut on the growth. Sadly, this is exactly how the system works. You are taxed on income. You're then taxed again when that income earns a return. Now, this is the first version of what we might call the infinite tax loop. 5 years in, Rajan is doing well. He decides to buy a car, a mid-range hatchback priced at around 10 lakh rupees. He's about to discover that buying anything in India involves layers of taxation, as you can see in this table, and we exactly expose this in a whole different video. I'll link it here for you to check. But yes, taxes over taxes here as well. Now, a few more years pass. Rajan and his wife decide it's time to buy a flat. Now, this is the biggest financial decision of his life. He finds a 2 BHK in North Bangalore for about 70 lakhs. He's been saving for years. He applies for a home loan, the EMIs begin. And then at registration, the full weight of India's property tax structure lands on him at once. Stamp duty in Karnataka is 5% of the property value, so that's 3.5 lakhs paid up front in one shot to the state government. Registration charges is another 1%, so 70,000 gone. He also pays the builder 5% GST on an under construction property. On a 70 lakh flat, that's 3.5 lakhs. So before Rajan has moved a single piece of furniture, he's paid approximately 7 lakhs in taxes and charges over and above the cost of the flat itself. And he will continue to pay property tax every year to the municipal corporation for as long as he owns the house. On a home he bought with money he already paid income tax on, that he will pay EMIs on from a salary he continues to pay income tax on every year. Now, let's ask the question Rajan has been quietly asking for years. What does he actually get for all of this? He pays roughly 30-35 paise per rupee he earns in direct and indirect taxes combined. The road outside his apartment has a pothole that has not been shut since 2023. The government hospital near his home has a 3-hour wait for a basic consultation. His child's school admission required a donation that everyone understands is not really a donation. When he got a tire puncture on a state highway last year, there was no emergency number to call. No roadside assistance from any government body. He called a local mechanic who again charged him 300 rupees while cars just breezed past him in the dark. India's public healthcare spend is about 1.8% of GDP, one of the lowest among major economies in the world. Its education spend hovers around 2.9% of GDP, also well below the global average. Its road maintenance budget is a fraction of its road construction budget, which is why roads that get built keep getting rebuilt year after year after year. Rajan paid his taxes honestly, automatically, without a choice. And the return on investment, measured in quality of public goods available to him, is, to put it generously, underwhelming. Look, Rajan belongs to a very small club. In a country of 140 crore people, of those, 2 crores, roughly 32 lakh people, or 0.3% of adult population, pay 76% of all personal income tax collected in India. These are overwhelmingly salaried employees like you and I. Their income is visible, their TDS is automatic, their PAN is linked to everything, they cannot hide, they are structurally the easiest people for the government to tax. And so they are taxed the most visibly and with the least flexibility. Meanwhile, the cash economy runs parallel and largely untouched. The doctor who does 5 lakh on a consultation in a month in cash, the property dealer who quotes one price on paper and another in cash at registration, the businessman whose official income is 6 lakhs and whose actual lifestyle involves 3 foreign holidays a year. India's black economy is estimated at anywhere between 20% and 40% of GDP, depending on whose estimate you use, meaning somewhere between 60 lakh crores and 120 lakh crores of economic activity that generates no income tax, no GST, no documented transaction of any kind. This money doesn't disappear, folks, it actually circulates. It buys things, it funds a parallel economy, but it does not contribute to the exchequer. And the gap that it leaves has to be filled somewhere. It gets filled by Rajan, because Rajan can't hide. Now, this is why black money thrives in India. Not because Indians are uniquely dishonest, but because for large sections of the economy, evasion is structurally easy and consequences are structurally low. And for the salaried class, compliance is structurally forced and unavoidable. The incentive structure is, at its core, a punishment for honesty. Finally, the question India needs to answer is not how to squeeze more out of the Rajans of the world. There are only 2 crore of them, and they're already carrying the country's direct tax revenue on their shoulders. The question is, what it would take to widen the net, to bring the informal economy in, to create a system where compliance feels rational rather than punitive, and where the Rajans of India eventually feel that the transaction is finally fair. Right now, it doesn't feel fair. And honestly, looking at the numbers, it isn't. Anyway, folks, that's it for today. This one was for every Rajan out there. And if you are one, let me know in the comments what your most infuriating invisible tax is. I'll see you in the next one.